Trey, Wave got another one.
Yes, what it do, what it do, what it do. It's your boy BDammone in the house with Coach Gomez, and we are back for episode 116 at Level Up Productions, and this is SA versus the state.
Yeah.
If you don't know, now you know that the state playoffs are going down for Texas in 6A and 5A. So we have the schools with the higher enrollments.
Yeah, higher enrollment.
With the higher enrollments going. And of course, before San Antonio takes on the state, unfortunately, we got to see who comes out the city, right?
Yeah, for sure, man.
So we had one of the biggest matchups go down, Smithson Valley versus Reagan.
Yeah.
So this morning, we are blessed to have one of the players from the team that was victorious, Trey Moore, defensive end, senior from Smithson Valley, with us on our Coffee Corner Convo this morning. How's it going, man?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
Hey, so, I mean, always great to be able to get you after a victory, but this wasn't the easiest game for y'all. So, can you explain to us how y'all came back in the second half? I know that when I saw the score, I was at another game and it was 20-3, and my first thought was like, wow, okay, I wasn't expecting this. So can you give us a little bit of the mindset from the first half to the second half?
Well, I mean, in the first half, we didn't really look like ourselves. We weren't playing the football that we've been playing all season, and the football that we know we can play. And then in the second half, we just locked in, we dialed in, and dropped 21 on them and shut them out. We got the victory.
What was going on the sideline, during that moment when y'all were down? What kind of conversations were taking place between the players, coaches, and maybe just between y'all, the peers?
I mean, we don't really like to talk. I mean, we all knew what was going on, and we knew what we had to do. We knew we weren't locked in, and we know we needed to lock in. So, I mean, there wasn't really much that needed to be said. We knew what we had to do.
Got you.
So, and the actual what did you see from your defensive line squad that was different in the second half than the first? Was there any tendencies, or just, okay, let's just buckle down and get this?
I think that's what it mainly was. We all needed to lock in as a whole team. I mean, the whole defense, the whole offense, we all just needed to get ourselves together and lock in.
Okay.
When you say lock in, there had to have been some kind of conversations going on when you were walking off that field where the coach is saying, hey, you're not playing the assignment football as we're asking you to do. Y'all guys are shying away. So, I mean, if you don't mind getting into something like that.
I mean, yeah, it was pretty much all the above. I mean, we weren't executing on the plays we needed to be executing on, and then we weren't firing back when we were getting hits back on us, and we just weren't, we were shying away, like you just said. And then second half, people were talking to each other, and we were saying, we know what we need to do. We need to lock in. We need to not, shy away. We need to step up to the plate, and that's what we did.
So basically, they came out, hit y'all in the mouth, kind of stunned y'all, and it took y'all a little while to adapt to, hey, we can play with these guys.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
What was that halftime conversation like with Coach Hill? What not every single detail that was said, but what was the gist of his message to y'all?
I mean, he's not one for, big halftime speeches. He was basically saying, we all knew that we didn't play as good as we can play and as good as we needed to play to win in playoffs, and we just needed to lock up. And so he just told us, we have 24 minutes left in the game. We just played the whole first half, and there's a whole another half to play, and we can change the tide, and that's what we did.
Awesome.
So after the first game, we all saw I'm sorry, not after the first game, but after the Judson win, we all saw the Rangers shuffle. And Coach Gomez here, actually, I had picked Reagan to win the game, and Coach Gomez went with Smithson Valley. So congratulations on that, Coach. and he told me not to go against that Ranger shuffle. So, do you think that it's possible for this Ranger shuffle to go viral, or is this is this going to be a team celebration, or something that can happen? You know, if y'all get a sack or if y'all score a touchdown, is that going to be something that y'all kind of rib the coach with?
I mean, yeah, I think so. I mean, I was saying, I mean, if he wasn't a head coach, I think he'd have a good opportunity to be a good dancer. I mean, that little shuffle he did was pretty nice. So, yeah.
So, with every team that we've had from players, you know, from your district, every single week in your district is a playoff game type atmosphere and feel. So, you know, even when y'all get in the playoffs, y'all already been tested. I mean, if you do a round robin of your schools in your district, everybody's beating everybody. Y'all lost to Wagner, but you beat Judson. Lost to Steele that Judson beat, and you know everybody's beat someone. So, and coming up this next round, y'all have Austin Westlake. What is the team mentality as you're going in, and you've already beaten you've already beaten 2 of the 3 best teams in the city. So now you're going up to Austin Westlake to take on one of the, you know, state powers.
As a team, our mentality doesn't change. Like you just said, we've been playing high caliber playoff opponents all year. You know, in the city and the teams that we play, every single game is top tier opponent. So, you know, like we've been saying all season, it's kind of one of our mottos this year. We just got to do what we do better than the other team does what they do. So as long as we can do that, you know, shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, just try to get a jump on them, have an early start as well, so that y'all aren't working from behind, because it gets deeper in the playoffs. Working from behind gets a little tougher.
Right. So
yeah, no, we definitely got to.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right.
We just got to keep playing the same way all season. So if we can do all game. If we can do that, then we should be fine.
Yes, sir.
So Smithson Valley, to me, all year, I'm not sure what I have been looking for. I know y'all are a great squad, and I know y'all have the offensive line, y'all have the defensive line. I don't have as many questions on Jalen Nutt as a quarterback at all now. I've seen that the receivers have gotten better from that Wagner game to the Judson game, because I thought that was a very imperative part of how y'all defeated Judson in the first place. So do you think that, you know, maybe just maybe, because y'all don't have a traditional type squad, that y'all are flying a little bit under the radar, and do y'all use that to your advantage?
As our school, pretty much every year we fly under the radar. We're always looked at as the underdogs. I mean, I don't see a problem with it. It doesn't really matter. Coach Hill likes to use the term they, you know, it's always what they say, and it doesn't really matter what they say. I mean, you know, we're doing what we do, and we're winning a football game, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Coach Hill, remember when I were on the Judson sideline game during that game, I said, man, Coach Hill always has his team ready, always has them together. And I think, you know, that coaching staff that he has really prepares these boys out there each week, you know what I mean, and gets them ready for the games.
Definitely. Hey, have you seen any personal improvement on your side from the beginning of your senior year, and given the situation with COVID and the lack of, you know, actually having a lot of team time together as opposed to your other years playing? What improvements have you seen in your own game in your senior year?
I mean, that's something that, as a player, as an individual, and as a team, you got to do. No matter the obstacle, you got to have continuous improvement. And I think I've just been better with the technical side of things. And, you know, obviously because of my stature and everything that's revolved around me, I have teams looking at me and teams game planning against me. So I just got to break that down. You know, I got to make a play. So that's what I've been trying to do all season.
Have there been opportunities in which you know that that's happening, and it's like, hey guys, you know, if they're doing this to me, this is y'all's opportunity to where y'all can make a play? You know, I know I might end up being a decoy in certain situations, so this is where y'all have to step up.
Yeah, no, that definitely happens. I mean, it was extremely apparent against Clemens that game. I mean, they were doing sprint outs and rolling out away from me. And then at Reagan, they were trying to close me out pretty much every play, and they were just keying me. So, I mean, that's just when other guys got to step up, and then, we can take care of business.
Definitely.
I ain't got a problem with it. We win.
Exactly. And that's one of those times in which, you start to see what else you have, and you start to develop that depth, because other guys are going to be like, okay, well, if they're running away from Trey, then okay, boom, I have this opportunity.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 free guys.
Exactly.
You're taking another 3 guys or 2 guys just to take Trey. Somebody has to step up, like you said.
Exactly. So Austin Westlake is up next, and I just want to well, I got a couple of more questions for you, but I want to make sure that I say this. As everybody can say, okay, Austin Westlake is a power. What I always want to make sure is that they understand who they're playing.
Yeah.
Like, there's 2 teams on that field. It's not just Smithson Valley, and they're playing Austin Westlake. Excuse my phone. But I mean, I'm not gonna sit up and put a target on y'all's back, but I definitely feel that y'all have always answered the bell and answered questions that I've had, and I'm not gonna shake my head at it anymore. Like, I'm not gonna I'm not sure. Like, I was looking for a performance that shows that a school's ready to step up to that challenge. And I don't think that there's any more of a clue that's needed than for there to be a dog in the team that's able to come back from being down 3 scores.
Yeah. And took out a quality Judson team the week before.
Exactly. And why I even asked you about the conversation at halftime was solely because everybody who gave me the feel of that game in the second half was like, this was a squad that was just dominant. Because, I mean, they didn't score a point in the second half.
Yeah. So
for y'all to come out and defeat a team 24-20, and at halftime it's 20-3, I can't do anything but have faith and confidence that this is the squad that can go up there and do damage against Westlake. So, much success to you.
Exactly what you're saying. That's why.
Much success
that's why
to Smithson Valley. Now enough with all the formal questions. Let's get down to what everybody in San Antonio wants to know. What are you going to eat for breakfast on that morning of the Austin Westlake game?
I mean, it's probably some bacon and eggs. Keep it simple. Keep it light.
Simple and light. What are you drinking with that?
Probably just some water. You got to stay hydrated.
Okay. Are you a coffee drinker?
No.
All right. Yeah. My parents didn't let me drink coffee until I was 18, 19, but or at least they'll be like, oh, it stunts your growth, so don't drink coffee. Like, all right, well, 6 feet is all I got. So, I mean, I guess, but okay. Favorite subject in school?
Probably math. I like numbers.
Math, nice. If I was to go through your playlist, your pre-game hype playlist, give me three artists that I'd find.
You probably find some Kendrick, some J. Cole, some Kanye.
Okay.
Those are my boys.
Okay. What was the last one? What was the last one I had? Dang it. Okay. Scenario of a game-winning play. What is the dream last play or a winning play scenario to you for Smithson Valley?
For my team or for me as a player?
For your team.
Shoot. I mean, big game, close game, probably. I'm gonna go some on the defensive side. Either a strip sack, somebody picks it up and scores, or a pick six, something like that.
Nice.
Wins the game.
Nice. Hey, Trey, man, can we get your Twitter handle so that people know where to follow you at?
Yeah, it's TREYYYMOORE.
TREYYYMOORE.
Trey Moore with 3 Ys.
All right. Hey, man, thank you so much for your time, and we appreciate you waking up and being with us after your treatment. Make sure you stay healthy, and let's whip up on some Westlake, man.
Yes, sir.
Good luck, man. Y'all
Appreciate
take
y'all
care
for
of
having me.
business. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
Sir.
So that was Trey Moore, class of 2021, senior defensive end for Smithson Valley. A kid that every game he's a name that you're gonna call out.
Yeah.
Obviously teams are game planning because they know how big of a role he plays, and he played a big role in that in the Wagner game, because that was a close game even though they lost. He played a big role in the Judson game.
Correct.
He's been a beast, and he's like how I said they were flying under the radar, but he's been someone who's been a constant performer.
Yeah.
Constant performer. So he's a wrecker. Now we're gonna move on. Playoff time, but that doesn't mean that we aren't doing the pick'em. So we are back to see exactly who won this week. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. I'm sure I'm going to take this W, but just for the formalities, we're going to go through this. All right, here we go. Did you have Shiner or Timpson?
Let me see. Shiner.
Shiner won 49-7. I had Shiner as well. Did you have Fall Cities or Mart?
Fall City.
I had Fall Cities. Fall Cities fell. They lost 48-21. Did you have New Braunfels Canyon or Pflugerville?
Braunfels Canyon.
I had New Braunfels Canyon as well, and they won 20-17. Congratulations to Canyon.
My bad.
Next up, did you have Southwest or Brackenridge?
I had Brack.
No, you had Brack?
Yeah.
I had Southwest. Southwest won 31-7. Did you have Madison or Steele?
Come on, man. Still.
I had Madison. I mean, no. I had Steele.
Yeah.
I had Steele. Steele won 50-3. Steele won 50-3.
He's already up though. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's up 4-2 right now.
What? Series over. Stop the count. 4-2. All right, let's see. Did you have Alamo Heights or PSJA Southwest?
Alamo Heights.
I had Alamo Heights as well. Alamo Heights won 34-0. Did you have Holy Cross or Cypress Christian?
Holy Cross.
I had Holy Cross as well, and Holy Cross took the L 14-0. 14-0. Next up. Did you have Floresville or Mercedes?
I had Floresville.
I had Floresville too, and they lost 34-41, unfortunately. Veterans Memorial or Cedar Park?
I had Vets.
I had Vets too, and they took the L 72-20. All right, did you have Stevens or Laredo United?
I had Stevens.
I had Stevens myself, and they had the comeback victory in that one. 22-12. 22-12. Did you have Taft or Eagle Pass?
I had Taft.
I had Taft as well. Congratulations, Taft, having Tremaine Smith on the show, and him telling us about their mentality. That's their first playoff win since 2004 as well.
Yeah.
So congrats to the Taft Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, same thing with Stevens, both Stevens and Taft.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Showing them love.
Did you have Del Rio or Brennan?
Brennan.
You sure?
Oh, man.
I had Brennan myself, and they won 48-0. 48-0. That's what you're supposed to do.
Man, I wish they would have played Harlan and
Yeah,
Laredo United.
yeah. That's what I was just about to say. Unfortunately, due to COVID, Harlan had to bow out of the playoffs. So I did have Harlan picked to win that game myself.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, their season had to come to an end. Feel bad for those seniors on that squad. Man.
Not to mention doing it in 6A2. Who knows how far they could have gone?
Right. And that I had some. Who were we talking to? And they said, well, yeah, we were talking to a coach, and they were like they felt bad for Harlan because they had them going through a couple of rounds. I'm like, man, I had Harlan going to the third round.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So next up, Carthage or Wimberley? Who'd you have?
I had Wimberley, man.
I had Carthage.
Did you?
I had Carthage. Carthage won 38-7. Medina Valley or Sherryland Pioneer? Who'd you have?
I had Sherryland Pioneer.
I had the same. And Sherryland won. You know what? Medina Valley for that district seems to be that squad that I'm not sure how they even got in the playoffs because it seems like either they're playing in a close game or they're losing, but I never see them like actually winning. It's either close or they lost, and I mean that sucks. But all right, Pflugerville, Henderson, or Seguin? Hendrickson, sorry.
Seguin.
I had Seguin too. Did you see that score?
Yeah, 70-74. Like basketball.
Yeah, that's
No
crazy.
defense.
Shout out Seguin though, because we've had a special relationship this year. So let's go.
Did you do the Elsa Eden Couch and Bernie Champion?
Did I?
That was right before the Seguin Pflugerville.
Yes, I did. And I had Bernie Champion. I just didn't see it on here yet. Yeah, that was the next one.
Oh, okay.
I had Bernie Champion. Who'd you have?
Bernie Champion.
All right, Bernie Champion won 56-19. Next up, Eagle Pass and Lanier. Who'd you have?
I had Lanier.
I had Lanier too, and Lanier lost 17-11. Sorry, folks. I really wanted them to keep that run going.
Yeah, it would have been nice.
Yeah. So, Highlands versus Southwest Legacy. Who'd you have?
Southwest Legacy.
I had Highlands. And Southwest Legacy won 34-24. Let's see. Did you have Jefferson or Southside?
Southside.
Okay, just checking. 52-0. Southside won.
Who'd you have?
I had Southside. Did you have Johnson or Wagner? That was my upset pick.
I had Wagner.
You had Wagner? See, Wagner would have been my upset pick, but I had Johnson. Johnson won 56-42. And we just had Trey Moore on the show. You had Smithson Valley. I had Reagan. Congratulations, you got that one. And did you have Judson or Roosevelt?
Judson.
And I had Judson as well. And Judson lost 21-28. Congratulations to the Roosevelt Rough Riders on defeating Judson. So what are we sitting at?
You beat me by 2.
What? That's too sweet. That's too sweet.
That's your first victory.
That's
man.
too sweet.
First
But
victory.
playoff time, I'm in the next round. Who do I play next?
Come on, man.
So we got the first. All right,
You
I
play
won
me
the
next.
first round.
You play me next, baby.
We got the first round done, and I graciously accept this humble W. This W right here.
Hey, he don't know how to act because he never wins. You know what I'm saying? When they never win, they don't know how to act.
Hey,
It's his first W.
I'm
That's
trying to
what it
figure
is.
this out. I'm trying to figure this out.
He's like, yes, finally, yes.
So,
Nah, I went against on some of them. I went against the grain. You know what I
Really?
mean? Yeah, bro. I went against some of them. Just because it's playoff football.
right.
You know,
Right.
kind of like the Smithson Valley stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? I had that itch to go for Roosevelt, but at the end, I was like, I got cold feet, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna go with Judson.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, during the playoffs, sometimes you just go against
Honestly, the toughest game for me was the Reagan Smithson Valley game.
yeah.
And like we even talked about it on the last episode. I'm like, I just felt like Reagan was on a roll in that, and how they beat up Johnson. I was like,
Yeah.
man, and I mean they came out on fire.
And the reason I was gonna go with the Roosevelt was the way that, because I didn't really know if Judson was able to really bounce back. They really took that loss
Right.
hard.
Right.
Like if it was
They
the end
took
of the
that Smithson Valley loss.
like it was the end of the season when
Right.
they actually, in reality, they had just finished winning the district title. It's
Right.
like, you know what? So what? They didn't. When I saw their reaction, it wasn't like a brush off. But then at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? It's Judson. They might be able to pull it off.
Right.
But to me, it was really a 50-50.
Right.
But with the Smithson Valley, I know they're riding on some confidence right now.
Exactly.
And that coaching staff, man, I really.
And I
like
think
what they
that,
got over there.
you know what, we're going to come back and talk about that. So this has been our segment for our pick'ems. We're going to come back and we're going to get into some game observations that we had for the weekend. All right, so make sure you stay tuned, stay watching Along the Wire on YouTube. Like and subscribe, share. Thank you. Hey, what it do? It is BDammone and Coach Gomez back at Level Up Productions, and this is going to be our segment for our game recap and observations. We were both at the Southside game, and then I was at the Judson game, so we're going to give you a little bit of feedback from that. We were having a bit of a conversation. If you remember the score from the last segment, it was 52-0 Southside over Jefferson.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you get a score like that, and you're bound to see some great plays, and you're going to see some good talent on the field. And you liked seeing what you saw because, honestly, Jefferson was the school that had the more steady playing schedule up until that time because it had been about a month since Southside was on the field.
Correct.
So for them to come out and do that, okay, yes, it'd been a month, but then obviously the talent and the coaching and everything just culminated to where Southside was a better team.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, both you and I know that Coach Locke has those guys ready. We've
Right.
been there to practice personally, so I'm sure those practices during those weeks that they did not play were pretty intense.
Right.
And that's what kept them game ready.
Definitely.
Because you and I both saw from the jump. I mean, Southside came out swinging, and it never stopped. And I mean, Caleb Camarillo, man, he tore it up, man. He tore it up along with Richie. Of course, we saw a lot of highlight plays, but it also leaves some questions on. All right, how is this going to go against a Flower Bluff?
Right.
Are you really going to be able to do stuff like that?
Right.
Is this going to go against who else we got out there? Calhoun in the playoffs still.
They still got. I mean, they're gonna end up running through teams like Vets here.
Vets and stuff like that. So, there's some things that I have some questions on, but at the same time, I know that Locke and his staff are really, how would I say, observant on what goes on out there and make adjustments really quick on the sideline.
Yeah. So next up is Flower Bluff for Southside, and I mean the route variations, because I mean exactly how you said, it's kind of hard to improve. Well, I mean, practice is practice.
Yeah.
But when you get that actual game feel, and not only for your quarterback but for your receivers, being able to
and DBs.
Yeah. To see what coverages people are in, and one of the things on the defensive side of the ball that I was glad to see was, when you haven't played in a while, your head might be all over the place, but they were actually
aggressive. Yeah, they were really aggressive.
Yeah, and it wasn't like they were overrunning plays or
no.
It was really like like how little feeder fish.
Well, it's Mike. I mean, the energy that they had. I even heard a couple of people on the sideline saying, "Hey, Southside's playing a hell of a defense, but they're playing cocky." Yeah, they're gonna be cocky. Because they're getting stop after stop. Every third down you see them yelling, "Money time, money down, money down."
Yeah.
I mean, Micah Young has that defense, man, playing sideline to sideline. Ready to go.
And while it might come off that way, you're into the game.
Yeah. You are. You're paying attention.
You're paying attention.
Down in distance.
And I didn't see There were a couple of penalties that I felt were okay. Reel it in a little bit.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as if they weren't there and made the play.
Yeah, it was. I'll tell you this: it was a great atmosphere. You know what I mean, they scored. They were having fun on the sideline. Doing their thing, coming back. And the coaches weren't ripping their ass for having fun out there.
Mm-hmm.
The coaches were like, "Hey, let's go, get back in, let's go."
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So, I think combinations of the coaches feeding off the players feeding off the coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we've seen a team that has that kind of camaraderie between the coaches and the kids. I mean, unless you've seen another squad like that, but
I'll say no.
I really haven't.
I'll say no.
I really like the way that they engage with their kids, and they're kind of like, how would I say them? They kind of let them do what they got to do and let them get a little chippy, but at the same time they have it in check.
Yeah, and they're taking care of business on the field.
And the kids respect it when they say, "Hey, stop it, that's it." They stop it, that's it. All right, I'm back, I'm focused.
Yeah.
So the coaches really have a grip on them boys, man, and do a hell of a job with them.
And I think it's going to be a great step up from Jefferson to Flower Bluff.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's going to be a great step up and a great measuring stick because, I mean, Flower Bluff, for the schools that do not remember, in San Antonio, is a team that Wagner almost lost to last year.
And Cornerstone beat this year.
Was that Flower Bluff?
Yeah. No, that was Callahan.
Yeah, Callahan. Yeah, so, I mean, Flower Bluff coming to I believe they have some history as well.
Oh, yeah.
Southside and Flower Bluff have some history as well.
Yeah, they lost, to them 2 years ago?
Right.
Yeah, they lost 2 years
exactly.
ago.
So
they're familiar with each other.
Yeah. I think that we're now going to see where the development and the coaching has improved in what you can do on the field. So that player maturity might be at a different level, because if I was to look at this Southside team versus that Flower Bluff squad from last year, it's just tough when you're playing a Wagner school that even this year has had some problems in their secondary.
But there's a difference between, I would say, Wagner and, of course, you have your pros and cons, like anything, right? And there's a difference between Wagner and there's a difference between Southside.
Exactly.
Wagner was pretty much slam it down your throat every play, and of course, what is Flower Bluff going to do? Fill up the box.
Yeah.
You got Southside where Coach Locke and them, they experiment with their players. They get in different formations. They do a lot of different things.
Right.
You know what I mean? They utilize Mike on both sides of the ball. They utilize Caleb on both sides of the ball.
They're a squad that makes you think.
Yeah.
They make you think, because a play, that first formation, their first play of the game, was like a swing gate.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay,
and
y'all been working on this.
Hey, and they got 9 yards off of it, 8 yards right off the bat. But and then you got Torres in the back, where that dude has a can of an arm, and at any point he can throw that ball 70 yards easy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And then even for if you feel and look at Southside, they have their stat fillers, but how they use and get to those players, is the genius of it. Yeah.
And we still have yet to see where they got where they would really spread it and throw the ball off a 3-step drop, 2-step drop. A lot of it really is where Torres is just, being an athlete,
right?
Scrambling and just chunking the ball, on a go route.
Right.
And Caleb's just fast enough to get out there.
And that Flower Bluff secondary is not the fastest. So, I mean, like, there might be some times for it, but it might not be as prevalent as it was versus Jefferson.
Yeah, for sure. But I really think that Coach Locke will make the adjustments and how would I say?
And that focus comes from also not having the ability to play all these games too. So you're going to take advantage.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean,
you're on that drawing board.
Yeah.
Day in and day out and seeing how you can get better.
Definitely. All right, so once again, shout out Southside and congratulations. Excellent performance, dominance, a shutout.
Which was supposed to happen.
Yes. So the Judson game now. Man, Twitter was alive with Roosevelt taking Judson down 28-21. And I want to make sure that this is not understated, that Dwayne Coleman showed so much growth and he's grown so much since the first time I saw him as a sophomore to that kid that took out Judson yesterday. And I'm not saying he did it single-handedly, but he did it single-handedly. Like, that was a masterful game, over 300 yards, and it wasn't like there wasn't a chance for Roosevelt to fold, because they were up 7-0, and then they were down, and then they came back and they took the lead. And, you got to take advantage of those opportunities, and that's exactly what he did. Even on the throws that he made that were incomplete, they were on point. And he was wise enough to throw the ball away in certain situations, and shout out to Coach Carroll and the scouting squad, because we did run into them, and they seemed very confident. And they had a game plan and they executed it.
They sure did.
Taking advantage of that secondary of Judson.
And I hope it's not one of these things where, Roosevelt goes and thought, as far as the players, because I know the coaches won't think this, but the players going to think, oh, we won the championship already.
No.
And then they come back next week and they lay on their back. You know what I mean? I really hope that they use this as a confidence builder, ride the momentum going into next week.
Yeah.
Obviously, the coaches do know what they're doing. Like Brandon just mentioned, we did run into them the weekend before scouting at the Judson game, and they were pretty confident in the game plan. And and obviously they did have a game plan and were able to put one together, and I hope they have the same attitude, same approaches coming week and handle business.
And that was a very close game the entire game. That was a fight. And I mean, Judson did Judson, and it seems like at certain times it was okay, DeAnthony can run the ball.
Yeah.
So okay, let's keep him running the ball. But then Roosevelt stopped that. And then when Michael had to throw the ball, he made a couple of bad decisions, and Roosevelt made him pay.
Yeah.
And shout out to, I know they always say that defensive backs can't catch, but Roosevelt DBs were good that game.
Yeah.
Shout out to number two was given Wilson, number 80 on Judson, the business. He had a height disadvantage.
Yeah.
But you couldn't tell that in the fight and how physical he was being with him.
And that's the reason he was being physical, because if he had a height disadvantage and he just let him get off the line and run his route without being disturbed, guess what? He's going to make plays all over him. So in order to stop that, what do you got to do? Be physical.
Levon Williams.
Be physical from the
jump. And
jump.
number 10 was flying around. What's his name is? I got it right here because he was making plays. Josiah Carrillo. Number 10 on defense and number 2 on defense were the guys that I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because, I mean, there was some very 50-50 type ball situations in which Wilson was in. And the fight from and the fight from Williams was there.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you aren't going to let this 6'3", 6'4" dude just moss you.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, you got to have that fight there, and he showed that fight. And Carrillo making plays in the backfield, single-handedly tackling DeAnthony Lewis by himself. I mean, like, that's not a small feat, period. I remember looking at highlights last year of Lewis, and I think the only person who tackled him in the whole film was Jalen Jones.
Yeah.
So, like, he's coming up bringing that helmet. Roosevelt was just on a whole nother level of focus. Like, it was no intimidation there. We are here for a fight. If we're supposed to lose this game, we're gonna go down. Like, swing.
Yeah, they probably had a mentality where, if we're gonna end up losing, we're gonna let DeAnthony Lewis beat us. All right, and DeAnthony Lewis wasn't able to beat them.
Right.
They game planned to stop him, and I mean, they were gonna let Michael Burrows beat
Yeah,
him.
Michael.
They were gonna let him beat him and stop DeAnthony. And
Mhm.
they focused on DeAnthony and Michael Burrows and stuff.
And it's just shout out to Roosevelt again for keeping that focus, because it was waves when Judson will come at you and then it feels like, okay, this is what just is supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Like this is the time when Judson just puts up 21 effortlessly, and because when they came out in that second half and they stopped Roosevelt, because Roosevelt got the ball back and they stopped them on a 3-and-out, and then boom, Judson scores, and it's like, okay, what are you gonna do? They answered by holding the ball, like going back down. I think they drove like 90 yards.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is exactly how you answer.
But then also you kind of look back at Roosevelt. They were kind of prepped for something like this, because you go and look at the Madisons they played. You go and look at some of the the Reagans and stuff like that. I mean, they've played running backs all year long. Some Johnson running backs. So it's not like they hadn't played against a top-notch running game.
Right.
I mean, you got to give shouts out to them. Getting prepared throughout district play, going into this playoff game.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were probably saying, man, we've seen some pretty damn good running backs in our district. DeAnthony Lewis is just another one.
So shout out to Coach Carroll. Shout out to Dwayne Coleman. Throwing for over 300 yards on a game plan when you're going up against that front seven. And the way that I saw him personally manipulating defensive ends to help set up his offensive linemen with how he was rolling out and doing his stuff. Maturity.
Yeah, for sure.
Maturity. That's what I have to say Dwayne Coleman showed in that game was maturity. And that's why, like we say, the better quarterback.
At the end of the day, the most experienced quarterback is going to come out on top.
Exactly. So congrats, Coach Carroll. Congrats, Dwayne Coleman. Congrats, Roosevelt. Congrats, Scout Team. Because it's one thing to see it. Now let's see what we got that can attack it.
How to game plan for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hold on. There was a tight end or a receiver, number 12. Let me make sure I shout him out, because he made some clutch, and it's not even showing max preps.
Number one. Also.
Brandon Armelin. Yeah. Made some very key third down. Tell me why every play that Judson gave up, it seemed like it was on a third down. And then there was a situation in which they accepted a holding penalty that would have been a fourth down. But they accepted the holding penalty for the yardage, and then the very next play, boom. First down.
You got to, come playoff time, even in the regular season, third downs
I'm taking that fourth down.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to make you make a decision.
Third downs are crucial, man.
Yeah. So, once again, shout out to the entire Rose. That was a complete team win.
Yeah, for sure.
And y'all had the quarterback to pull it off, and he showed his maturity. And congratulations to Dwayne Coleman and Roosevelt. I mean, there's nothing more you can say. I mean, you do what you have to do to win the game, and that entire staff won that game.
For sure. They did it as a group. And good luck next week. Handle business, man. Handle business.
Definitely, and that's what we're going to get back into. So those are our games that we were at, and those are our game experiences and our feedback from them. Stay tuned. We will be right back and talk about the second round for the San Antonio High School football area. All right. Hey, what it do is BDammone and Coach Gomez. We are back to talk about the second round of the playoffs for the San Antonio High School football area. We're going to go over the 5A Division I right now. Once again, Southside versus Flower Bluff, 7 p.m. at Alamo Stadium. Make sure you check online. Follow me on Twitter at BDammone. Make sure you follow Lock and Loaded on Twitter for the Southside links to buy tickets to this game at Alamo Stadium, at the beautiful Alamo Stadium.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, one of the best stadium. Man, like the scenery is just incredible. Anyway, Southside versus Flower Bluff.
Actually, I think it would be, his link will be at lock_N_load 89.
Okay. Lock_N_load 89. Yeah, capital N. All right. So Thursday, Southside versus Flower Bluff. Both teams 9-1, 7 p.m. Alamo Stadium. How are you feeling?
I'm going with Southside. I'm going to go with the home team.
I'm rolling with Southside as well. I think that they're going to be focused, of course. I think they're going to have the energy. Talk about a natural energy for just playing the game. That's what I feel when I watch them.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. I don't see any other. We've been to some places and we don't see what we see at Southside.
Yeah. Let's see, Division 1. Southwest Legacy. Southwest Legacy versus Corpus Christi Vets on Friday, 7:30 p.m. back at Alamo Stadium. How are you feeling about that one?
I'm going Corpus Christi Vets, man.
Mm-hmm.
Corpus Christi Vets, they pretty much got the same.
Center fit, their quarterback.
Yeah, he's coming back from last year.
Uh-huh.
Dude has the experience behind him. Been in big games, plays in a tough district down there. I think more. Southwest Legacy didn't have too many games. They had some canceled because of COVID.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Vets been playing, so I see them edging that one out.
They've been on a roll.
Yeah, I see them edging that one out.
Roll.
Sure.
Weslaco East versus Southwest, 6 p.m. Ferris Stadium on Saturday.
Going with Southwest. Southwest has been there. Weslaco, they're new to the scene.
Mm-hmm.
I see it happening where Andre goes off.
Yeah, and Weslaco's only played 5 games.
Yeah,
this year as well. I have that the exact same. Liberty Hill versus Bernie Champion, 7 p.m. up in Austin at Cedar Park. Cedar Park. Bernie Champion versus 8-2 versus Liberty Hill 9-0. I'm gonna take Bernie Champion as well. I think they're just a little bit too much. They're too refined. I think that if they have spots where they can grow at, the more you go in the playoffs and you play these extra games, just going back years, that development of your players just increasingly goes.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something that Bernie Champion has benefited from in their previous juniors and sophomore years, being able to extend into the playoffs. So you're going to see the competition. You're going to be able to have more opportunities to get better.
And they were young last year, and they went pretty deep, and then now they're back at it this year. So
state semis.
So they got the confidence, they got the experience behind them. Coaches have been there, so they know how to adjust and adapt, on the fly. So I think it's going to be a great game, and I see Bernie coming out on top.
Alamo Heights versus Georgetown East. Alamo Heights 7-2, Georgetown East 6-4. 7 p.m. at Comalander Stadium.
Going with the home team, Alamo Heights.
I like Alamo Heights in that one too. Versus George East coming in at 6-4. Alamo Heights has quality losses, haven't been blown out at all, and they have a decent district too that they come out of.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna roll with them. Let's get into 6A. 6A Division 2. Speaking of Roosevelt, Austin Vandergrift, they're playing up in Buda. Is it Buda or Buda? Buda. Roosevelt 7-3, Austin Vandergrift 8-2, 2 p.m. Shelton Stadium in Buda. I'm rolling with Roosevelt.
I'm rolling with the Velt.
I'm rolling with Roosevelt. Either way, I wouldn't have had Austin Vandergrift winning. I think that if they can maintain that focus, and Dwayne Coleman just looks locked in. And I think that when you have your quarterback in there, he's going to demand that from him. He has some good senior receivers. So, and people want to make their points and make their imprint on being at Roosevelt, and they love playing for Roosevelt. That's a very tight-knit community school. So I think that they're going to be able to take out Austin Vandergrift myself. New Braunfels Canyon versus Katy Pateau. Who do you got? That's actually going to be at Katy.
Who was it again?
New Braunfels Canyon.
Versus Katy. I go Katy.
I'm going to go New Braunfels Canyon. I have no reason behind that. Besides the fact that,
Gomez over there is a returning quarterback as well. He's doing good. So, I see why he can say New Braunfels Canyon has a chance. What is it? Dallas Gomez was out there.
Yeah.
Kid works hard.
Buda Hayes versus Johnson, 7:30 p.m. in Buda. Who you got?
Johnson.
Yeah, I was surprised by Hayes winning, but they got there, and I think that Johnson is another one of those schools. You know, they got beat up by Reagan, but
Yeah.
you know,
It was a
sometimes
wake-up
you
call.
got yeah, just a little knock on the head. So, all right, next up, Edinburgh Vela 6-0 is taking on Brennan down in Corpus.
Vela's a good team. They gave Brandeis a run for their money last year, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
And then Brandeis barely brought it out, and they played where in Laredo, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Brennan's a little young behind the ears at the quarterback position.
Are you going with the upset?
So I'm gonna go with the upset, man.
I'm going with Brennan. I'm going with Brennan.
upset.
I'm going with the leadership on the defense.
Yeah.
I'm going with the leadership on the defense, and just, you know, I think they got Jalen Spells, and they got Dubose at the receiver. They got Caleb.
What's Vela's record?
6-0. Edinburgh Vela 6-0.
Yeah.
Brennan 9-1.
No, I know Brennan will win that one because they're in a tougher district, probably.
Stevens versus Harlingen. They play in Corpus.
Harlingen, which Harlingen?
Harlingen South.
South. I'm gonna roll with Stevens, man. They're having a special season.
6-0. I mean, Harlingen 6-0. Stevens 6-4. And where are we at? Taft versus PSJA North. I'm rolling with Taft. Yeah, rolling with Taft. Austin Westlakes versus Smithson Valley. Wait. Round Rock versus Steele. Lake Travis lost first round. Round Rock versus Steele. Who you got?
Round Rock.
I'm rolling with Steele. I think there's some anger and fire in the belly from being knocked out first round from Austin Westlake, and I think that was one of the reasons why they put it on Madison 50-3 as well, to kind of try to wipe the taste out of their mouth of that Austin Westlake's loss. Because, like I've said, that's one of the games I talked about last year. There was a couple of bad referee calls, and that game could be different. So, then Austin Westlake goes on to win state. So, I'm gonna go with Round Rock. I hope they are very excited about that win last week, and it continues to be on your mind, because I'm gonna remind you and make sure that you are not focused on Steele. Yeah, because it's San Antonio versus Texas.
So you're going with Round Rock, or you're not going with Round
I'm
Rock?
not going with Round Rock.
You just said you were going with Round Rock.
No, I didn't.
You say that, Joe?
I said I'm going with. I said I'm going with Round Rock to be unfocused and focused on beating Lake Travis. I hope they're on the sidelines thinking about how they beat Lake Travis, so that when they leave, they lost to Steele.
Gotcha.
That's.
Yeah.
So I got Steele because Round Rock will be unfocused.
All right.
Be unfocused, Round Rock. Let's see. Austin Westlake versus Smithson Valley to close out the show.
Smith and Valley. Going with the. Also, you're gonna pick against Smith and Valley now. It looks like.
Well, hold on.
Check him out. Check him out.
Just because I give the visual effect of some, a little bit of suspense.
You're sus. You're sus.
Let's see. You got the state champion, Austin Westlake. You got Cade Klubnik at quarterback. You got Great House at receiver. But who else do you have?
It's like Coach Hill said, they talk about.
Look, see?
See? Got you, Trey. We got you, bro.
Let me see your Smithson Valley. Let me see. You know what? I am going to roll with Smithson Valley. I am going to roll with the fact that, I think that they do float under the radar for some reason.
They do, man.
For some reason. And I think that they're going to.
On paper, Austin Westlake has the squad.
Yeah.
But as far as, coaching staff.
Good coaching gets me excited.
Yeah, man. I think that, both staffs are good coaching staffs, but I think Larry Hill deserves this one. I think he's going to go on to the next round.
And Jalen Nutt.
Jalen Nutt, yeah.
He's been making the throws, and if the receivers continue to make the catches, I'm telling you, this Smithson Valley team is different when their receivers are consistent, because you saw the throws at the Judson game. Jalen was putting it on the money.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that development of him being in those moments, it leads to this.
Yeah.
It leads to this. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll roll. It'll be a close game. I'm not putting any point spreads on it. I'm not even saying it'll be by more than a touchdown.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a fight, and I like the fact how Trey was saying, when they had to lock in, they did that.
Yeah.
And I had Reagan as the number one squad here in San Antonio, and they locked in and shut them out in the second half and came out and scored 21 points. Anybody who talked about that game was just talking about how the field was completely different, and they won the game, yeah, but how they won looked better than how they were losing.
Yeah, for sure.
So we are rolling with Smithson Valley, and we got the bracket here. And I'll go live and talk about the brackets and stuff later on today. But
yeah, give me the Ranger shuffle.
I don't know
dog.
how is it. What is it? What's it like? Is that it?
There you go, dog.
Ranger Shuffle.
The Ranger Shuffle.
Ranger Shuffle. Beat Austin Westlake, Smithson Valley. Beat Austin Westlake. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching Along the Wire on YouTube. Like, subscribe, share. It's been BDammone, Coach Gomez, Level Up Productions, San Antonio, Texas. Birds up. Hook 'em. 210. We out.